Dedicated, determined, dependable. This is News 10 ABC at 5.
Right now on News 10 ABC at 5, sometimes calling 911 isn't an option, and one local county has done something about it. Trishna Begum will join us in studio with a special report about a new way to reach dispatchers in an emergency.
Plus, John Kelly, accused of possessing thousands of images of child porn. He was arrested nearly 3 years ago, but today he finally learned how long he'll spend behind bars.
And 2 local school districts are looking into allegations of nude photos of their students being posted on the internet. Lindsay Nielsen will join us live in studio with details on that investigation. Good evening and welcome to News 10 ABC. I'm Mark Baker.
And I'm Melissa Streeter. Thank you for joining us. We will get to those stories in just a couple minutes, but we start tonight with a storm tracker alert.
Well, that's right. Snow in the forecast just in time, of course, for the Thanksgiving Day holiday. And we want to toss it over to News 10 ABC Chief Meteorologist Steve Caparizzo. Steve, what are we going to see here?
All right, we're going to give you the breakdown, and you know, it's all about timing, and the timing is just terrible with the first snowstorm moving up the coast. Now, the winter storm warnings are in effect for a broad area of upstate New York and western New England, and they go into effect at 5 a.m. Now, to the north and west, there's a winter weather advisory. Figure there's going to be a fairly sharp cutoff between the heavier snow and light to moderate snow as you head up towards Lake George into the Adirondacks. So the threat is greatest for the heaviest snow in western New England. So here's the timeline, and this is crucial for all of you traveling tomorrow. Snow develops around Albany 7 to 9 a.m. I'd pick 8 o'clock if I was a betting person. Lake George area 9 to 11, so a little bit later to the north, a little bit sooner to the south. 1 to 3 inches on the ground by noontime. Steadier and heavier snow through the afternoon into the early evening. There may be a period where it may come down 1 to 2 inches per hour, especially the Taconic Hills, Berkshires, in extreme southern sections of Vermont. Now, the main area of snow should taper off 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Thursday morning. Now, the winds for most of us should not be a big factor, which is great news. But the winds could gust 25 miles per hour from the northeast in the hill town, so that could cause a bit of blowing and drifting. Now, for Thanksgiving Day, some leftover flurries or maybe a snow shower or two. Accumulating snow. The roads will be snow covered, but improving conditions throughout the afternoon. So as the day goes on Thursday, it gets better. All right, let's check the Dunkin' Donuts Storm Tracker weather cam tonight. It's all quiet. It's really not that cold right now. The cold air is taking its time moving in. The temperature right now, 47, a light southwest wind at 5 miles per hour. You would never know a storm is brewing, right? The radar and satellite, we should see a little bit of a clearing trend for a while tonight. Then we have to shift our attention to this moisture spilling up through North Carolina. And notice the enhanced area, the brighter yellows and oranges off the South Carolina coast and off the Georgia coast. That's the storm getting its feet wet, and that's going to come up the coast and be here tomorrow morning and really pick up in the afternoon. So tonight, increasing clouds later tonight. Temperatures close to 30 here, 28 at Glens Falls, low 20s up in Hamilton County, near 30 at Amsterdam, western New England, 29 at Pittsfield, and 30 at Bennington. So no travel problems tonight at all. Tomorrow, a different ball game for us. Again, snow arrives first thing in the morning, getting steadier and heavier midday into the afternoon, 34. Thanksgiving Day, lingering flurries or a snow shower, mostly cloudy, improving conditions, and a high of 36. We'll have much more. We'll break down who gets what for snowfall totals coming up later in the newscast. Elisa?
Thank you, Steve. And that storm expected to hit on the busiest travel day of the year. It could make travel a mess for millions of people. But local transportation officials say they are prepared to make sure those roads are safe for drivers. News 10 ABC's Liz Holliday joins us now live with more on their preparations. Liz.
I've been speaking with a lot of concerned drivers today who are worried that these latest forecasts are going to ruin their Thanksgiving plans, which is why I came here to the DOT barn in Latham to get some answers from the experts about how motorists can weather this storm in time for turkey dinner. According to the Department of Transportation, the capital region's busiest roads, like I-90 and the Northway, are getting some pre-treatment in anticipation of winter weather Wednesday afternoon. But even with 177 plows and 33,000 tons of salt on hand to keep roads clear once flurries hit the fan across the region, motorists might want to think twice about when they leave this Thanksgiving. The DOT tells me even on sunny years, the day before Thanksgiving is one of the busiest travel days of the year. And with added weather in the mix.
If they have a plan to visit relatives and they were planning to leave Wednesday late afternoon or Wednesday evening, they really should keep an eye on the forecast and consider changing those plans and moving their travel times.
Now, the DOT tells me if you're not able to get out tonight before the storm or very early tomorrow morning, and you're also not able to wait until the storm's over on Thursday, well, then just make sure you plan a lot of extra time to get to your destination. For now, we're live in Latham. Liz Holiday, News 10, ABC.
Thank you, Liz. And snow emergencies are already in place for several areas. Be sure to head to news10abc.com to find the full list of those emergencies and the details of each.
Happening right now, a call for justice, a worldwide day of action in response to the verdict in Ferguson, Missouri.
A rally taking place in front of City Hall right now, and News 10 ABC's Amy Cutler is there. She joins us now live. Amy.
Well, Lisa, there's a lot of outrage and anger surrounding the grand jury's decision not to indict Officer Darren Wilson, and that is what has brought more than 50 people here to City Hall. You can see they're lining all in front of the building down to the corner. Many of them have signs in hand that say Black Lives Matter. Organizers in Ferguson, Missouri had called for a worldwide day of action. Activists here are responding. It's intended to give the community the chance to speak out and to be heard. A handful of local groups have endorsed it. Organizers here that I had the chance to speak with say they've had problems with police in our own area, and that is part of what has brought them here. Now, I'm also told that several speakers will be taking the podium here in front of City Hall. From here, we're expecting them to march to the federal building. We'll be with them the whole way and have much more coming up live at 6 o'clock. For now, we're live in Albany. I'm Amy Cutler for News 10 ABC.
Thank you very much, Amy. Two local schools are dealing with the same problem. Police confirm nude photographs of an underage student were posted on a social media app, and another school dealing with similar reports. And now authorities are looking for those responsible. News 10 ABC's Lindsay Nielsen has been looking into the reports and joins us now live with more details. Lindsay.
Mark, state police say it's a growing issue, and they say it's one that's not easy to solve. They're trying to find who's ever responsible for posting nude photos of an underage Tamarack teen on Instagram. They say there's claims of more nude photos also on Instagram. Those photos allegedly of Hoosick Valley teenage girls. State police at Brunswick say nude photos of an underage student at a Tamarack school were posted to Instagram. The photos, they say, were first texted to someone by the girl 2 years ago and resurfaced recently. 10th grader Michaela Humphrey says she saw the photos before they made it onto Instagram.
The certain girls' photos, they went throughout the whole school. Like, everyone got them to their phones when they first went out, and then it turned into an Instagram page.
Humphrey says nude photos making the rounds on social media is the norm.
Like, it wasn't really surprising because everyone nowadays just does that. They just send their photos all around.
In a statement, Dr. Angelina Maloney, superintendent of Brunswick Brittenkill Central School District, says, quote, "We are aware that state police are conducting an investigation, and we are fully cooperating with police. We take a very proactive stance on issues like this. We offer presentations and education on this type of issue, including appropriate use of social media." State police say the Rensselaer County Sheriff's Office is also investigating claims that nude photos of underage girls at Hoosick Valley Central School were also posted on Instagram. Hoosick Valley student Serena Canary says she felt bad when she heard about the alleged incident from other students.
That's their privacy, but they don't deserve to have it splattered on the internet.
Today, a former student alerted me to a website where that student tells me there are underage nude photos of high schools that are on there from around the country. I did look at that website, and there was a 518 section of our local area where there were some nude photos. I alerted, of course, state police about this. They are now looking into it. They tell me they've turned it over to their computer crimes task force, and just now, recently, today, they have told me that that task task force is attempting to shut that website down. This, of course, they want to warn people that these photos can be shared around the world. I'll have more on this coming up at 6. Live in Brunswick, Lindsay Nielsen, News 10 ABC.
Thank you, Lindsay. Well, in the winter of 2012, authorities arrested a Rensselaer County man on child pornography charges. This afternoon, he was finally sentenced for those crimes. And the gap in time has people asking, why did it take so long? News 10 ABC's Anya Tucker looking for the answer. She joins us live at Rensselaer County Court with what she found out. Anya.
Well, we were the only news station in the area to be inside the Rensselaer County Courthouse today when finally John Kelly was sentenced. Now, it may not be the outcome that investigators were hoping for. Instead of walking out of the courtroom in handcuffs, he walked out a free man.
Light out of my eye, I'll walk right over your face.
This is how we first met John Kelly, shoving a News 10 photographer at his arraignment on felony child pornography charges.
Same thing I said before, get out of my face.
This was back in February of 2012, after investigators say they confiscated 100 hard drives from Kelly's computers that included naked photos of children and child rape videos. The then Rensselaer County DA Rich McNally told News 10 ABC that Kelly could face up to 4 years in prison. But fast forward nearly 3 years to today, and you can see Kelly is a free man, having never spent one day behind bars. So what happened? The case appeared to have been all but forgotten. Insiders tell us that it's been tough to expedite cases when the Rensselaer County DA's office has become a revolving door of overworked and underpaid staff. There was even this embarrassing blunder on an unrelated case when accused rapist John Hallisey avoided serious charges due to a paperwork error. As for John Kelly, that possible term of 4 years was whittled down to 10 years probation in exchange for pleading guilty to possessing a sex act performed by a child, a crime he blames on his brother.
Why would he let you take the fall? Your own brother.
He's a grimy piece of crap.
The once rowdy appeared quite a bit less nasty in Rensselaer County Court during his sentencing.
No, I said no. I said no.
Kelly must now register as a level 2 sex offender. Now, I did reach out to the incoming newly elected district attorney, Joel Ablove. He tells me that case tracking will be one of his biggest priorities when he takes the oath of office on January 1st. Live in Rensselaer County, Anya Tucker, News 10, ABC.
Thank you, Anya. And happening today, a former Washington County newspaper editor and teacher accused of being in possession of child porn has learned how long he'll spend behind bars. In a case we've been dedicated to following, 65-year-old Timothy Taft has been sentenced to 5 years, followed by a year and a half of supervised release. He will also have to participate in a sex offender treatment program. Police say he forgot his thumb drive containing images of boys ages 10 to 14 years old engaged in sexual acts at the Saratoga Casino and Raceway.
Schenectady police want your help in finding the suspects in a fatal shooting on Bridge Street. They responded around 7:15 last night and found 30-year-old Jose Sanchez with multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. His brother, 28-year-old Victor Sanchez, was stabbed multiple times and is listed in stable condition at Albany Med. While police are asking you to give them a call if you have any helpful information, this latest act of violence is weighing heavily on the community. Well, there are cases where talking on the phone during an emergency is just not possible.
And one local county realized this and made a change to their 911 system that could make a world of difference. Trishna Begum will tell you all about it.
And at 5:30, a Clifton Park woman finding a document dating back centuries set the item up for auction today. Hear just how this rare find, how much it went for.
You're watching Elisa Streeter, Mark Baker, and Chief Meteorologist Steve Caparizzo. This is News 10 ABC at 5.
Communicating through text messages, Twitter, and emails. It's often the way we talk to each other. But most 911 call centers can still only receive phone calls.
Except for one in our area. News 10 ABC's Trishna Begum visited the center to see how that technology works. Trishna.
Elisa, Mark, it's the only emergency center you can actually send a text message to, but it's not where you think it may be. Not near a big city or in a county with a huge population. The center is housed in Montgomery County.
What if you were in an emergency where you couldn't reach for the phone?
911, where's your emergency?
An emergency where you didn't want your voice to be heard.
We're looking at people that are in unusual situations where they're not allowed to talk for some reason or are afraid to talk, and you're looking at burglaries if you're in the house and you're hiding in the house.
Montgomery County Sheriff Michael Amato says his emergency dispatch center is the first in the region to install a system capable of receiving text messages with all 4 major carriers on board.
It's just as easy as sending a text to your friend.
What's your emergency?
Instead of hearing a voice, the dispatchers receive a message and respond by typing back.
I reply back, get to a safe location.
Here's how it works. When you're within Montgomery County and you text 911, a message pops up on their computers, along with a map showing your location.
I believe you'll see every county in New York State have it in the future, in near future.
And that's just the beginning.
Especially as the technology progresses and we're allowed to send pictures and video, I think that's where it's really going to help the dispatchers get involved in what's going on.
So why don't more counties with bigger cities have this technology?
We could do it right now, but honestly, I don't want to use a third-party vendor, and a lot of counties throughout the state have gone to a third-party vendor.
Albany County Sheriff Craig Apples says it's just a matter of time before texting 911 in Albany is made possible.
The texting, yes, it may be a convenience or something to that effect, but again, we want to make sure that we have a concept-proven technology method in place before we roll it out.
So here's the thing. Voice calls are still definitely the way to go because you can talk to a person, tell them what's going on. But Sheriff Apple says you're likely to see technology where you can text in Albany County by 2015, believe it or not. Right now, though, I sent a text to 911 here, and if you're outside of Montgomery County, you're just going to get a message back saying, call us.
Wow. Well, there might be a case where you want to be discreet in sending 911. You never know.
Right, like Sheriff Amato said, you know, if you have a burglar in your house and you're scared that someone's going to get to you, definitely good technology to have.
But the advantage of the voice is that you can really hear the urgency. You can really hear what's going on, too.
Exactly, exactly.
Thanks so much, Trishna. We'll be right back.
Stay with us.
Here's Chief Meteorologist Steve Caparizzo with your Storm Tracker forecast.
Howdy, welcome back, everyone. Obviously, tomorrow, an important day for most of us. Many of you either have friends or family coming towards you, or you may be traveling to go to their homes. So the weather obviously is crucial. And this year, unfortunately, the timing is just not great with this storm. So we're going to give you all the information that you need. All right, 45 at 7 p.m. this evening, 37. It's basically, you know, it might clear out for a little while tonight and then cloud back up by morning. So it's going to be cloudy at 5 a.m. and 33. Now, there's not a lot of cold air over us yet. You would never know a snowstorm is coming. The cold air is kind of lagging. We said it would be a kind of a gradual process. And that's going to be the case. Late tonight, tomorrow morning, that's when temperatures will start to drop down into the lower 30s. Right now, still in the 40s. By the way, the high temperature in Albany occurred just after 1 o'clock in the morning. It was still 62 degrees. This afternoon, we held in the low 50s, so it's still not bad at all. All right, 44 at Clifton Park, Loudonville 48, mid-40s right now at Brunswick. Out to the west at the Pine Bush, it's 51, down to 39 at Bolton, 42 at Moreau. Glens Falls in the low 40s right now. Adirondacks, Tupper Lake 38, 38 at Indian Lake, mid-30s at North Creek. So here's that colder air sagging south, 43 at Lake George and 41 at Saratoga Springs. So we got one cold front off the coast, a little bit of wet weather flirting with the Cape. A little reinforcing push of cold air in overnight, and that will kind of get involved with the storm system as it moves up the coast. There are some flurries along that front, but that's not the big deal. The big deal is what's happening to the south of us. There's a storm now trying to develop over South Carolina. This is going to track up towards Hatteras late tonight, tomorrow morning, then track up south of Cape Cod. So we're going to be on the northwest fringe of the significant snow. Here's a breakdown. Notice by 8 o'clock in the morning the snow pretty close to Albany or up to the capital region. There's the storm. We'll put it into motion, tracking off to the northeast. So by 1 p.m., band of moderate to heavier snow will be setting up, especially in the capital region and western sections of New England. Lighter snow, but still accumulating snow off to the north and west. This is at 7 p.m. well south of the Cape. There's the band of heaviest snow, some mix across eastern New England. Lighter snow up through the Adirondacks and out towards Syracuse. There's not going to be a lot of accumulation if you're heading west towards Syracuse, probably only a couple of inches from this storm. And then it starts to shift quickly eastward, taking the heaviest snow to the east of us by midnight, and then accelerating up through the Canadian Maritime so that by Thursday morning, Thanksgiving morning, some leftover flurries or some scattered snow showers. All right. Total snowfall accumulations, widespread 6 to 10 inches for most areas. Now, with that being said, the higher elevations of the Taconic Hills, Berkshires, southern Green Mountains, bit of a jackpot here at 9 to 14, and 9 to 12 inches for the high elevations of the Catskills, especially the east slopes into the southern hill towns of Albany County. Glens Falls to Lake George, southern Adirondacks, west of Amsterdam, lesser amounts through here in the range of 3 to 6 inches of snow. Highs tomorrow, 33 at Saratoga, 34 Kinderhook and Albany. These temperatures will likely drop a little bit during the afternoon. They're not going to change a great deal. 32 at North Creek, 32 at Westerlo, 31 at East Jewett, and in the low to mid-30s in the Berkshires. Strongest winds tomorrow with this storm will be in the high elevations of New England. There's not going to be a lot of wind problems with this storm for us. All right, clouding up, bit colder tonight, down to 31. Tomorrow, snow should be here first thing in the morning, becoming steadier and heavier late morning, early afternoon. My feeling for Albany, 4 to 7 inches on the ground by 6 p.m. and a high near 34. Snow tapers off later Wednesday night. Thanksgiving Day, some lingering flurries or a snow shower. Mostly cloudy, 36, but improving conditions. Partly sunny, cold Friday, 28. Mostly cloudy on Saturday, 34. Same thing Sunday. A lot of clouds, a little bit milder, near 40. Another shot of some colder air Monday, Tuesday. Highs will be in the low 30s, teens at night. Not a blockbuster storm, but when it's a big travel day, any snow is bad snow.
Sure is. All right. Thanks so much,
guys.
Steve.
We'll be right back.
Here's some of what we're working on for 5:30 here on News 10 ABC. With the weather taking a turn for the worse tomorrow, right as lots of people hit the road for the holiday, News 10's Liz Holiday has the latest. Anticipated storm will impact your travel plans.
An amazing find in a local attic dating back to revolutionary times. It goes up for auction in New York City today, and News 10 is there.
And a Thanksgiving Day birthday is bringing extra wishes for a Vermont boy. We'll explain why they're coming from all around the world.
We're going to have those stories for you and Steve Caparizzo's Pet Connection for you coming up on News 10 ABC at 5:30.